In a world where Discord decides that it can do whatever the fuck it fucking wants. That's right. You got Neon Pocket Dimension. My name's Jacob. I'm really angry that Discord won't let me play songs. And that's how I'm starting this episode. You know, hey, maybe I'll bleep them out or something. I don't really care at this point. But hey, it's all good, man. You know, I'm just battling technology, trying to produce this show. And Discord decides it wants to produce the show for me. So that's how I'm starting this episode. What's up? My name's Jacob. You've entered the Neon Pocket Dimension, nerdy place where we can nerd out and get angry if we want to. Sometimes I'm here with, of course, Gage, a.k.a. Luke Shot First, a.k.a. Zaddy Supreme. What's up, man? How you doing today?
What's up, buddy? Thanks for weathering the bullshit tech storm that we have to weather sometimes. You're our producer Supreme. We appreciate it.
It's because Discord won't let me play Spotify. It's just like, oh, you're listening to Spotify? Let me just turn it off. And it'll just keep doing that. That's great. What's up, Miguel? I see you over there on the corner too. How's it going, Boxcar Miguel?
Oh man, I'm good.
How you doing?
He's that way, far that way.
Highly entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were here for the pre-show...
I know you're frustrated, but it's highly entertaining.
If you were here for the pre-show, which there is no VOD, so you would have had to actually be here, you would have heard me melt down into madness.
No, I've seen worse.
Oh, yeah, it could have been way worse. Also, we have a guest today. Sorry that this is how you had to meet me and see me, but hey, you know, you got a full dose of Jacob. We got ChefTrev.
Yeah, either or. ChefTrev or Trevor or Trev, for those who know me.
Sweet.
Great to meet you guys. You're doing great, Jacob. This is all very overwhelming to me, so, you know, you're sailing through these waves like a damn god.
We're about to have a fun time right now. We've weathered the storm. All the tech issues are behind us. YouTube is going to come in on clutch. But we're here today to nerd out about music. That's right. It's going to be music today, maybe a little video games when we talk about what we've been nerding out on as we personally do, as we do every episode. The WYBNOO, which is coming up in a second here. But, hey, we're wilding out on music. Chef Trevor over here, he's a DJ. I was DJing last night. Gage DJs. Miguel, he would DJ too if he had decks, I'm sure, right?
I don't maybe.
Dude,
I've never had an urge to, but you never know, right?
Dude, imagine you spinning with records, like total hipster style, playing all your coolest jams. I think you would kill it. I think you would slay, man, to be honest.
Possibly. I don't know. I'd have to try.
But Trevor,
I'm a lazy man.
Trevor, I know that you're in the same area as Gage. I can see you in the same room as him. Just give us a little background about yourself and what you do and you know, some gigs you played, and yeah, just give us your background, man.
Yeah, I grew up here. My parents live out in Bayside. My girlfriend and I currently live like 2 blocks from Gage and I shoe. Yeah, totally. Super walkable. Just enough to get like sweaty and awful as soon as you get here. Yeah, I started DJing as a like super hobby. Kind of never thought that it would be anything aside from me dicking around on my decks playing music that I like really poorly. I made my first big mistake. I got a giant Fender Fighter, like 12-inch PA speaker as my first ever speaker to connect to my DJ deck, so that kind of shows you enough.
Nice.
And then yeah, Gage and I played our friend Gina and Brandon's birthday down at the Goat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a goat themed bar in town called Richard's Goat.
Oh, sorry, are we out of town?
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
Understood.
These guys are
Understood.
Vegas folks.
Yeah. So
okay. Got it.
We're Las Vegans.
The Goat sounds amazing though. To be honest,
that sounds great.
It's a great bar. It's like semi-satanic in theme, I would say.
Also like slightly steampunk.
Yeah.
It's a tavern and tea room.
No shit. Do they do tea time?
Cool.
They do tea time. I can't say anyone goes for tea time, but
that's happening.
They do it.
And then they
That's
show
gangster.
like cool they show cool like little like indie films there. They've got a lot of like little small punk venue bands that come through, and then they occasionally have like pretty high, like DJ parties there.
Yeah.
And it's a small room, so like even if you like 30 people show up, it feels like you fucking packed the house. So it's
Yeah.
Pretty awesome, dude. I definitely have to check that out.
That's cool.
It's good.
It's a fun time. They got lots of goats inside. But yeah, one of our friends is a bartender there, and another one I worked with. Well, sorry, no, I want to retract that statement. We have two Brandons that we know, both beautiful, wonderful gay men, and I thought we're all in the same circle, and so I was under the impression that it was the Brandon that I had worked with for years. And, anyways, got there, wasn't him. It was a really fun time, and that kind of kickstarted something a little bit more serious, DJing, and me realizing that it could be something that could fully flesh out into a side hustle and something to do for real and not just for myself.
And yeah, we played a couple of gigs since then, and you played a pretty big gig by yourself down at the Eureka Theater, right, with Trinidadies and all that stuff. There's a show up here that happens recurringly around called Trinidadies, and it's a pretty big party most of the time. So
yeah, it's a pop-up like queer club warehouse rave experience, and they rented out this old historic theater in Eureka, which is just a little south of us here in Arcata. And yeah, it was just a ton of fun. We had a drag show beforehand, went right into big DJ party. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's tight, dude. That sounds like a lot of fun. There's a place out here which now is it's now a weed hotel, but it used to be just like this super rad like this rad hotel that had cool art on the wall. It was like mostly portraits. It was called the Artisan. It was like, it's just really small, and it was cool. Like every floor was like a different artist, and like every room kind of had like different like art like categories, I guess, if you will. And then they just took everything off the walls. They made it the hotel you could smoke weed at, and then painted everything white like it's a fucked up hospital. But when it was,
sounds like a nightmare.
Is that what they did to the Artisan?
Yes, the Artisan is now like a weed hotel, which
I didn't realize that.
Sounds cool, but it was rad as hell before. And I DJ'd there like twice, and that was like pretty big venue. Cool. That was fun. And then just
I didn't know that.
A couple other places. What that I DJ'd at the Artisan? Oh yeah, yeah. I got a gig there twice, but that was like a lot of fun, man. And then of course, like, you know, House of Blues upstairs thing. I won like a contest.
Sweet.
I got to open for
That's
some
pretty cool, dude.
some dubstep DJ I never heard of.
Nice.
Grime.
So what do you like to spin?
I like, as a lot of people say, I like everything. But typically,
sure.
You know, house music, groovy stuff. I don't know why I can't speak the word out. New disco. There you go. I like new disco and stuff like that. I like drum and bass. I like you know, dubstep stuff. You know, I'm really into breaks, which we'll talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same. 100%, dude.
Breaks is fucking huge right now. But yeah, I was spinning a little set yesterday.
And just fun in general.
Yeah, it's such an awesome. It's such an awesome genre of music, and not to mention, like, you know, just, you know, like synthwave, or like I'll spin anything. Like usually I'll jump between genres. Yep. I don't know if you do that in your sets or whatever, but definitely don't like taking requests, and that's why I only DJ'd 3 weddings, and I'll DJ 0 weddings going forward.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a family or friend or something.
It's a high-paying gig, but it's not worth it most of the time.
No, yeah. It was nice to make some cash, though. I'll throw that out there. And the people were nice.
I think if I was into top 40 music more, I would be totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Because of the money, but I no.
And like all the classic wedding bullshit, it's like you just don't want to have to go through all that. I mean, maybe if you sound like remixes of all of those, but that'd be so much work.
Yeah, that's so much work. Yeah. But my family, they just all like songs from the early 2000s, like Into Club and shit like that. So that was super easy.
For sure.
Yeah. I got them all dancing at my cousin's wedding. So that was like, that. I always have that as like an awesome memory of me spinning my little cousin's wedding. And, you know, she's old now, man, but fuck, I remember when she was born, I got to spin her wedding. That was a good ass time. So That is what is
See,
what
that's
it
cool. You
is.
got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. But hey, enough chit chatting about our DJ life. Miguel, any other like music background besides just enjoying tracks? You got like a cool vinyl collection or anything like that?
I've got a very small vinyl collection. It's not huge or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I did try play guitar for a little bit. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
really go anywhere. I'm a very lazy person in general, but like
Yeah.
I don't feel like I don't have the what's it called?
The drive.
The drive or the motivation to stick with it,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'd like to.
Right.
I'd like to do it, but I don't. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I've accepted that. But no, I like music. Music's good.
It's learning an instrument is a massive commitment, and you have to.
Oh,
it takes
absolutely.
dedication. You know what I mean? So you'd have to like really be.
I feel like if
dedicated.
I really wanted to do it, I would have already done it.
Yeah, but your dedication is other
Yeah,
things.
it's
you know?
hard as you get older and older. I was lucky that I found guitar. I was young. Oh, I think we just had to pick up. There we go. We're back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think there's a little hiccup, like you said. But yeah,
All good.
cool. And then Miguel, you know your buddy Hayato, which we has been on our content before, for what was it? Not
St. Patrick's Day, right?
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He plays guitar and he collects
does.
guitars, but I've never heard him play. So
He's actually kind of purging his collection currently, so it is what it is. But anyway, I won't get
Interesting.
into that. It's not my business.
okay, well, just cool guy, had some cool guitars. Let's move on to the WYBNOO. That's our patented what you've been nerding out on segment, and that's the question to ask. I typically like to ask the guest first, but no pressure. If you don't want the pressure, you don't have to. But
I'm not feeling the pressure right now.
what have you been nerding out on lately, sir?
So just this past weekend, I went down to the Bay and went to the Portola Music Festival, which is in Portola, California. It's just south of San Francisco on one of the big industrial piers. And it's all electronic, house, techno, breaks, indie electronic, some alternative. They definitely catered it more this year to open it up to people who are more into alternative electronic instead of just house and techno.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, saw some really great acts. We saw Carl Cox, we saw Skrillex, Sam Galantry, Overmono.
You saw Sam Galatry?
Galantry, however you say his name.
Galatry.
Yes.
Galatray.
And he was the standout. Like,
Fuck yeah.
I like a lot of his music. I've been loosely affiliating with him, in my ears.
Carl
from,
Cox is a legend
like,
too.
when I was in like high school.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Oh, Carl Cox. Yeah, he was awesome. But Sam Galantry was just really surprising. Like really surprising. His set was everything from like dubstep to house and techno.
Oh, damn.
New disco. He went on this whole like dubstep to trap rabbit hole.
Dope.
And it was. I've been DJing for long enough now that same with when I cook, I pay attention to pretty much everything because I'm a nerd about things that I like that.
Totally.
And I'm adept enough to recognize transitions when they're happening and to think about how they're being done, even being pretty inebriated as we were at that point.
Totally.
But he was the only set of the night, even compared to Skrillex, where shit happened and I didn't know until it was happening.
Word. Yeah.
It was just really impressive, especially spanning so many genres. It was crazy, a lot of fun. The crowd was really cool too in terms of shows, festivals, like camping festivals, day festivals. You could get to the front with no problem, have room to dance. There's this awesome collection of like young, like semi douchey, like college bros who are all still like incredibly nice and welcoming and friendly. Even though they're like hitting on my girlfriend, they were still like respectfully doing it, like very respectfully doing it. No, in a way that like was okay. It was really weird. and then all the way to like 60, 70-year-old San Francisco old gay ravers going together. So it was
Fuck
super
yeah.
fun. It was a really wonderful experience. We went last year for their first year, and it was just the best shit ever. It's all the music that I love.
Hell
the
yeah.
lineup,
Yeah.
The lineup has typically been insane last year and this year. I've been envious of it, but music festivals for me right now is a little tough, but that's pretty cool.
Tell me about it. I'm
You did
getting too
try,
old.
I did.
You did try.
I'm getting way too old for them, man. It sucks.
Is you old? At
It
this
depends
point?
it depends on the festival, right? Like there's some ones you can do for a day. If you're doing this, it's like you just pick the people you want to see and make it happen. You know?
Totally.
And, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we have
Yeah.
Life is Beautiful here, and it is a lot of walking, man. You are walking up and down blocks and blocks
It's
and
a
blocks.
big area.
Dude.
It's a big area.
It's really fucking cool, but we have begun to fall apart to the point where like if we go, it has to be one day, one day only. You know?
Right, one and done.
And there's a lot of repeat acts nowadays, so we're kind of like, is it really worth it this year, or do we want to like take a flight somewhere? And so we've been doing that lately. But man, I'm with you. I love music festivals, and wish my body could handle it like it used to.
Could keep up. Yeah.
Cool.
I definitely feel it in terms of all the walking too. Like we did, my girlfriend and I did one day of Hard Summer, and it's down at the Coliseum, and it was cool. And we saw a lot of dubstep, and we saw Skrillex and Fortet. But
Ooh, Fortet, legend.
yeah,
British
yes.
legend.
Also saw him last year at Portola, one of my biggest
Fuck yeah.
inspirations ever.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
It's great, great.
But
dude.
the walking kills you.
Oh yeah,
The walking kills you.
gotta sit down and breathe, and then you're missing like 5
Yeah.
acts while you do that. It's like
Exactly.
FOMO City.
You're like, why am I even here? I could just go like drink beers and like some chain smoke cigarettes with random people at a bar. I'm paying good money. I gotta be on a schedule, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, 15 minutes of this guy, 30 minutes of this. Okay, we stay for the whole set for this guy. And we gotta on our way see this dude, and then end up at that stage.
And we gotta leave this set early so we get good spots for the headliner. You know,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having fun, right? We're having fun. We're all having fun, right?
Dude, Major Anarchy in the chat says segways would be dope. I agree, buddy.
That
I
was-
agree.
Vegas would be dope. It would be utter chaos and anarchy, to be quite honest.
They just wait till people start riding around in the Rascals.
Oh my god. So imagine like 7-year-old ravers, dude, and fucking rascals just like buzz it, like just have a rascal raver lane. I love that.
Bells.
That's so funny, man. You see, Mochi Squeeze in the chat, that's my lady. She says, yeah, Jacob keeps a tight schedule at festivals, albeit the last time we went in
Very
VIP,
tight.
I was like, no, I'm good, man.
Oh,
We're just gonna chill. You got
VIP
any?
sounds like a good time. If I have the cash
The
to
ripping
shell out
and
at
the
a VIP
tearing.
festival,
The ripping and the
sometime I will.
tearing.
Yeah.
So much chaos. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say,
It's all good.
personally, I don't like festivals. I find them to be too slightly overwhelming in the sense of that there's a lot going on, but at the same time, I feel like you get less of the artist than you would at a smaller venue. Personally, I've always liked smaller venues.
Yeah.
Get me in a place where you can only get like 3,000 people into it or whatever, however big it is. That's what I prefer, personally. That's just
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you get into what you've been nerding out on this week, man?
Mass Effect.
Ooh, you're back in.
Mainly Mass Effect.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So I realized I was playing it on veteran, and
No one
people
always
were
does that.
dying. And I had this conversation with a buddy of mine this weekend where he played it on Insanity just to play it on Insanity when he went through Mass Effect Legendary. And he's saying, he goes, it's not any harder. It's just they take longer to die.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
They're
like,
just bullet spongy.
yeah. And I'm sitting here going, why do I keep dying? Why won't these guys die? And then I realized I'd put it on veteran, and I go, I'm putting this shit on normal. I don't have time for this. I want to get to the second one because honestly, the first one, at this point, compared to the second one, as far as I kind of wish they would have updated the mechanics on it.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things in 2 and 3 that I like that are not in 1.
Right.
So they definitely
Yeah.
improved as they went on. So
Mhm.
Are you talking
actually,
remaster?
Yeah, it's like a remaster
yes,
collection.
but
that came out
Legendary
not too long ago.
did.
Gotcha.
Legendary, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I watched what was it? John Wick 4. Like last week, actually. I forgot to mention it during my WYBNOO. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of glad they ended it because it's definitely one of those where it's like how you can keep making these, but I'm glad they gave it a good ending, and I'm good with it. So definitely, if you have not seen it,
Yeah, I think Keanu like said like we gotta end it here. He was like, oh, yeah, that's that.
Good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a good way to close it. I'm happy with it. It was fun. I tried watching. I think it was the Craft movie, the new one by
Oh,
Blumhouse.
the new one? Yeah.
Not good. I do not recommend it. If you like the first one at all, it's essentially the first one, but a little different. It's just shitty. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. It was
All
one of
right,
those.
good to know.
My buddy talked about how I guess one horror movie a day.
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
Yeah,
right?
it's a
So I
horror
was
30.
trying that,
Yeah.
and that's what I tossed on, and not so happy. So don't watch that. But it's been mainly
It's on the up and up from here.
yes, it's been mainly Mass Effect and those movies that I can think of currently. So
Hell yeah.
but
Nice.
other than that, just hanging out,
Do your thing.
helping cats, like I do.
Nice. Getting into my WYBNOO. Dude, it's October. I'm 30 for 30. I'm doing it. I'm actually 33, 34 for 30. In fact, probably more than 30, to be honest. I've been watching horror movies like crazy. And I started on like the 26th. I've watched, I wish I had the list. I have some sort of list. But for one, we watched The Nun. Sucks. Stupid movie. Don't know why anyone likes
it. Does suck.
Don't know why.
It does suck.
Why the fuck do people like this movie? Who gives a fuck about this movie? This movie sucks. Don't watch The Nun.
The OG or the second one?
No, The
I
Nun.
don't think it matters. I've seen they're both bad.
It's a
I-
dumbass
Not
movie.
Fun bad either, just bad.
I thought the first one was okay, considering it's kind of like a spin-off movie. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there was parts of okay. I liked the castle. I thought the environments were cool. Okay, I'll just say like the setting, the like the shots were cool. I'll give it to him. Like the art direction of the film is fine, but the actual nun itself, it's like scarier the more esoteric it is. At the very beginning, when you see barely any of it, it's like, oh, that's kind of scary. But then as they show you more of the nun, it's like, oh, it's just a dumbass looking goofball. Like, who cares about this stupid nun? So I don't know. I'm not a fan of that movie. It was really bad. I give that like a 2 out of 5, I guess, just because it's filmed well. What was that?
All I gotta say about that is that my girlfriend dressed up as the nun one year for Halloween. She got really my ex. She got really into like prosthetics and makeup and shit for a bit there, and she did the nun, and it looked awesome.
Probably
And
better
that was before I had seen the nun, and then I watched the nun, and I was like, oh whoa, you did like as good of a job as they did in the movie,
right?
which
Yeah.
says a whole lot because you watch
Yeah.
YouTube videos.
Right. So the first
Yeah.
movie I started with this year was Autopsy of Jane Doe because it always pops up in my feed. Also a bad movie, by the way. Not very good. Like it has talent in it, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that's great. It's that great. I then watched. Oh, before that, I watched the other half of Fresh, which is more of a thriller, but it's like a Hulu film about. I kind of don't want to spoil it. It does something notable that's cool, and I think people should watch it. One, for the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is the main reason to watch that movie, to be honest. There's some really cool jams in that movie. In fact, I've added some of them to my spooky playlist because of that movie. But overall, as a movie, like, it's pretty predictable toward the end. Like, they kind of botched some things, but overall, it was kind of a fun romp. It's kind of just in the middle. But Autopsy of Jane Doe is just garbage. And then I watched this movie that's popped up in my feed a lot on Hulu called Possessor, which I thought was gangster. I thought that was a cool ass movie. I don't typically like art housey horror films, which you could kind of put that movie in the realm of art housey. But honestly, like, I dug Possessor a lot. It's a sci-fi horror film about assassins that can transmit their conscious into another person's body, like via like machines. So they like get put under, and then there's an implant in someone's brain, and they're now in control of the body. And they spend time like mirroring their affect and like trying to talk like that person, and then when they take over their body, they pretend to be the person, and then they assassinate someone, and then they eject from the body by killing themselves. And it's really interesting, but there's a lot more to that movie and like what's being said, just as like an overall message, which I thought was like chilling and cool. I thought that movie was actually pretty good. Didn't think I'd like it, and I dug it. And then, of course, you know, I've been watching Castlevania, been reminiscing on old movies like...
the new one or the original
the
anime?
The anime. I haven't started the...
Yeah.
I've only watched the first 2 seasons of Castlevania, so I revisited those. So then I'm now done with that. I'm ready to get to season 3 and 4. And then, of course, Nocturne, which is a whole ass other show. I got my Shudder back. I've been watching Lake Mungo, which... on my first attempt at watching that movie was boring, and then now I'm like enthralled, so I'm kind of enjoying that. Excuse me. I've been watching episodes of Freak Show, which is an anthology series on Shudder as well. Aria, move. My dog's trying to bite my feet. We spent our entire weekend getting drunk and decorating the house, so now the house is all spooky. Mochi Squeeze did like a Hogwarts like floating candle with the cloud thing kind of set up.
Cool.
And then we have like a Gobi
cool.
light strips like above like the cloud thing, so we could put like lights up there. And so now there's just floating candles all over the house that we can turn on with wands, which is sick.
What?
Yeah, dude. I
saw that on Instagram the other day.
We did it.
I saw that and thought it was the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
It's cool as hell. I could bring up pictures, but you know, hey, I don't want to get upset again at computers right now.
I'm sure you'll find it, people.
But we'll tweet it out, or we'll actually do a picture on our MPD Instagram, which you can find if you look for Neon Pocket Dimension on
send
Instagram.
it to me. I'll post that shit.
Hell yeah, we'll do it. So yeah, if you haven't decorated yet, get out there and decorate, man. Put a couple bats on the wall. You know what I mean? Like put a scary painting up or something. We got a scary ass doll sitting on the couch. So every time Joy comes downstairs, she thinks the dog's there, and it's a scary doll, and she goes, it's just, you know, we're ready. So yeah, I'm loving that stuff.
Jacob, you're the truth king of Halloween. I'm gonna elect you right now.
Thank you.
I would agree with that.
I just met you, and I respect that.
they definitely both are. I am very lazy when it comes to Halloween, so it is.
Yeah, but hey, all that being said, have I had time to game? Not really. And the funny thing is, I just keep the only video games I've been doing is Starfield New Game Plus. I need to beat all like 10 other games, but I just want to play Starfield. This is some bullshit, man. The game has its hooks in me, and
you got it hooked.
And I'm ready to play some Phasmophobia. I'm ready to play Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. You know, I got to finish Dead Space. I got some spooky games to play. So I'm just reveling in all of that. And of course, music. Nerding down on music. I went and downloaded all the songs I needed. Did a little DJ set yesterday, just on Twitch. You know, like I'm gonna try to do that more often. And just having a lot of fun with that. So that's my WYBNOO. Let's get into Gage's WYBNOO. What you got, man?
I'm gonna keep it short because we got some music to get into. I've been nerding out. I'm just gonna say I've been nerding out on Portland in general. I just got back from Portland last night, late. I went to go see Queens of the Stone Age. I'm wearing the shirt up there over the weekend, or not even on Monday actually, and that was a blast. They played in like a minor league hockey arena, and
Cool.
we bought like $20 tickets up in the nosebleeds, and then did the classic thing where you walk down to a really good seat that no one's sitting in, and so we were like right next to the stage. It was awesome.
That's cool.
And it was a great show. Josh Homme was having fun, and it was the bass player of the original bass like lineup of that band bass player just died recently earlier this year. So they did a whole tribute to him and stuff, and it was a good time. But then in general, just bar hopping in Portland is like one of the best. Like every bar in Portland, it's mandated that they sell food, so it's like you can just take that city on in like by just eating and drinking your way through it, and it's like you can just go all night because of it, because like if you eat a little and you just maintain the ability to drink throughout the night. So it's great. We did that 2 nights in a row and just like went to some amazing bars, great cocktails, and then just like good bar food from time to time. So yeah, it's a good town. I like it a lot.
That's cool, dude. Awesome. We did the same shit in Seattle, by the way. And Portland's on the list too. So that's definitely a place we want to go to as well. In fact, when we were in Seattle, I was like, let's bar hop, and Motion Squeeze is like, oh, I don't really do that. And so I just come on, let's just walk outside of our hotel and find some bars. And then there was just a whole bunch of bars down that street. And we went to like 2 or 3, and then we were already done because we were just drunk. But hey, fun. And you know what?
It'll happen. But
you come down here to Vegas, dude, we're bar hopping. Me and you. All night.
100%.
All fucking night. We're bar hopping. Take you to the...
all I want to do when we come to Vegas is eat good food and drink good drinks and stumble around.
You're in good company for that, and you know it.
100%.
Before you move on, I would like to take Gage to Frankie's.
Oh, God, yes.
And even the Double Down.
Yeah, dude, I literally was going to suggest a Double Down.
Or
or
the Triple Down.
Whoa.
Which is at the Punk Rock Museum. Which,
dude.
if you want to check that out, it's pretty fucking cool, dude.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I'm super in. You know it.
Let's get to the main...
Next year it's happening. I'm coming out to Vegas.
I can't wait, man.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna have to
back.
Yeah.
And we're going for what is it? Oyster Fest.
Oyster Fest will be there.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna fucking happen,
Yeah.
Come
dude.
through.
I'm telling you.
It's almost always the same weekend as my birthday.
Oh no!
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
We'll
buddy.
hang out with Chef
Oh,
Trev for his
man.
birthday.
From birthday.
Fucking ChefTrev, dude. You're gonna have to spin for us, bro. Ooh, we get back to back. Let's back to back it.
absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Woo! Okay.
Be you.
We're having fun. Okay, let's get into the main event, ladies and gentlemen. No thanks to Discord. We will be playing our songs from YouTube. I just want to get one more jab in because I'm complaining because I had tech issues with it earlier and it's still pissing me off. But we've all come to the table with songs that have come out in 2023. Thank you very much. We've all come to the table with songs from 2023. And so what we're going to do here, if you're watching on YouTube, you won't hear the songs, but there will be a playlist below. Let's make it a YouTube playlist. Why the hell not? So everyone can enjoy it. So you can follow along with all the songs that we're listening to as we listen to them. So if you are watching YouTube, hit pause, listen to the song, come back, we'll discuss it and move on and on and on. If you're watching live, you heard it live. And guess what? That's why you should watch us live at twitch.tv/neonpocketdimension every Tuesday or Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, or a little bit later if we have weird issues. So let's move on.
Hot.
That is hot.
It is definitely hot.
So let's
Absolutely.
move on.
Room, legitimately.
Let's move on to some songs. We got 3 songs each, and we're gonna start with Miguel's song. So here we go. Oh wait, you said in the opposite order, didn't you?
Yeah, in the opposite order. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I know what the last song was that I sent you.
Oh yeah, you know what? I added them. I already did this. Okay, perfect. Just making sure I had them in the right order.
So I think it's Doom Regulator.
Yes, that's your introduction. Here we go.
Yeah, that's my introduction for it.
Starting with Doom Regulator by Raid.
No, it's Raid by Doom Regulator.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not on the app I always use,
That's why
so
you do
I
an
don't
intro.
know how to read stuff. Sorry, everyone. Here we go. All right.
Super cool. They have
Yeah.
it has a total kind of Mighty Boss Tones vibe going on. I like it.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is,
Like
if
old
you
Clash.
didn't recognize any of the voices, that's Tim Armstrong from Rancid.
Oh
And
shit.
there's also
okay.
Jesse from Op
Totally.
Ivy, and it is their new kind of they're doing
Those over
they're
there.
basically got back together
It's on the ground.
It was originally called Bad Optics. I don't know why they changed the name to Doom Regulator. That's the only song they've put out. But it's not their best song. But I feel like I'm waiting to see what they come out with as far as if they actually put out an album or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know if you guys know Op Ivy or not, but Op Ivy is, fucking Op Ivy.
Yeah, of course. Iconic.
So I mean, like some like old ass shit. It's great. It's amazing. Operation Ivy's great. But yeah, that's why I chose that song.
Cool. I liked it. I thought it was great. It had ska vibes, but to me, it played more like reggae, like just reggae that's a little faster. You know what I mean?
Ska is reggae, friend.
I know that, but I'm saying that like it felt more reggae than ska to me. You know what I mean? It had more of a reggae vibe to it, which I thought was cool as hell.
It definitely had a Yeah, it definitely felt like it had like a reggae groove.
Mm-hmm.
But even like the vocals would definitely gave me yeah, right. Sorry guys. First time.
No, you're good. You're good.
No
gave
problem,
me
man.
like clash vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which again kind of, that falls into the same thing. But also to be fair, I'm definitely not well versed. Actually, like ska, punk, reggae are three of the things I'm least well versed in. And I definitely appreciate them. I just don't know much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend you listen to a little more of all that, honestly. It's all
totally.
good stuff.
Unfortunately, it's the only song they currently have out.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's good.
Listen to other stuff,
There's
listen to Op Ivy.
endless rances in Operation Ivy to be.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I think it sounded really raw, like the way it was recorded. I don't know, they may have used like older mics or like an older system, but it sounded like a retro track, which if you know me, you know I really appreciate that kind of thing. Okay, so let's move on to the next track, which is Overmono Blowout. ChefTrev picked this track. You want to introduce this or jump right into it?
Going around robin like this? I like that. That's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna just bounce this around.
It's the latest song they released. I got into them like probably 2 years ago. They started getting pretty big. It's a bunch of these two brothers from Wales, and one of them is like a break DJ and producer, and one of them is a big techno producer. They kind of came together and found the roots and released an album that's really, really good, called Good Lies. And then this is the first thing they released after that. And it's just great. I heard it and I was like, oh, I need to DJ this, like, immediately.
I think I have this song too. Yeah. All right. Let's play it. Let me resize this, and then you can see the picture as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So little taste.
Also, all of their,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All their album artwork is dogs, and they like their dogs, and that's a nice
so
thing.
random.
That's a nice thing. That's great.
I give him credit for that. Awesome.
Yeah,
all right, so
100%.
Here we go. This is Overmono Blowout.
It's just cool. It's just cool ass production.
Mm-hmm. That song is a good example.
It's got a little Fed again in it for sure. I hear that.
Mm-hmm. There's this big breaks movement happening right now in dance music, and this is like a great representation of that. I think I have one in my little set of songs I'm picking as well, just because it needs to be called out. Like, I feel like people talk about the underground. Right now, I think the underground is breaks. Breaks has been around since forever, but there's just like such a massive breaks movement in electronic music that I feel like people who know, but a lot of people are just like, what are you talking? Like, why do you keep saying breaks, Jacob?
For sure, but also people who don't know also do know. Like, if you're a hip hop fan at all, you know why. Like, you breaks. There's just a certain.
They're built into.
There's
the
a certain something.
Yeah.
There's a certain something that happens when you hear a drum break like that, and it's really it motivates you, whether it's to like dance, to think, to walk. There's something really humanly driving about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pedestrian rhythm, I think. You know, like it's
Mhm.
definitely like sound of the street, one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a breakbeat is synonymous with a lot of genres of music. You know what I mean? So obviously with hip hop, it slowed down a lot. I mean, with R&B, so many songs are breakbeat, but like we don't call that breaks. We call that hip hop or we call that R&B, right? But
Right.
you know, just speed it up and people dance to it. That's just dance music in general, though, right?
Totally. Yeah.
I would imagine.
So I will
yeah.
say before we, sorry,
No,
carry on.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Um, just before we carry on, this was one of the acts we saw at Portola, and they do all of their music on synths. They do a
Fuck yeah.
fully live set, and it was crazy because you could hear the human inconsistency and the imperfection, and it was just so intense. They were drumming everything. They had pushes. They had
Oh, yeah.
moogs. They had
Yeah.
like the whole thing. And it was just really impressive to see music that complex come through like that.
It also kind of makes it adds an element of like I don't know. I mean, just from experiencing live electronic sets before, like it adds a level of like almost punk to it, where it's like
Oh, totally.
like it feels like visceral in a way that a DJ set just can never fully achieve, and it's like. Oh, you just like get really excited about like someone landing like a drop in real time. You know?
Doing it perfectly.
It's
Totally.
Like, it's why it's so cool.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
hell yeah, that's amazing stuff. The next track is, of course, Skrillex and Bobby Raps. The song "Don't Leave Me Like This," is this the one? Is this the breaks track on the album? 'Cause there is a breaks track. Oh no. Wait, no, that's another track, but that's also
a different
good.
Track. The reason I picked this track, this isn't my favorite track on the record by any means, but I think this record, my history with Skrillex is.
Wait, can I
Go for
pause
it.
real quick and
Yeah.
say, this might not be the right song. Are you going for Quest for Fire, Please Don't Leave Me Like This? Or are you going for the
That's true, Jacob.
Don't Come Too Close or whatever it is?
So my whole thing with this album is that like a brief history with Skrillex. Skrillex has been super cringe in times before, but the way I've likened this album to is that this is like the God of War 2018 of Skrillex's career, and what I mean by that is that Skrillex was really popular in a different time when we were all maybe a little bit less cultured, or I don't know how to say it. But our taste was a little bit. Yes, I'm a nerd. Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. Jacob.
Great job.
Continue. Sorry.
Skrillex's first album, Scary Monsters and Night Sprites, was beloved at the time. It changed dubstep forever, arguably in a bad way, in my opinion, in hindsight.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
But it was still groundbreaking at the time, and at the time it was really hard, and it was a sound that you'd never heard before, and it was something that was like pretty damn popular. But then as time went on, like again, bro step took over from like what used to be a genre that was really niche and kind of cool and emotional.
Underground.
Yeah, underground and special in a lot of ways. The beginning days of dubstep were some of my like favorite
Rusco, baby.
times in music. Yeah, it was good, and it felt like at the time it was a genre of music that was like rebellious, and it was something that I was really missing from like the music of old that I used to look at, like anti-war music or punk rock music or hip hop movements. Like it felt like something that was kind of ours at the time for my generation, and then it quickly turned into something that was very much not something I wanted to associate with. Anyways, all that to be said, that now someone grows up with you, right? Just like the games industry grew up, and then makes it, and then this album feels to me like retaining that same level of like the identity that it was when Scary Monsters came out, but then with this sort of evolved sense of self and progression and growth. And when this album dropped this year, I just remember looking back on it being like, perfect. Like Skrillex has literally, Sonny Moore has literally grown up with us and put out an album that like is really, I think, pretty special. So like I know that was the nerdiest diatribe of all time, but I'm with you on it's the God of War 2018 of pop EDM. Let's put it that way. The reason I and shout out, thanks Drunken Monkey in the chat for gifting a tier 1 sub. That's huge. the reason I wanted to hear that drop is because in the lead up to that drop, and then when it cuts off the sound, and it says don't get it twisted, we're still, and then it cuts to this sample of oh my god, which is like from the original, which is from
that's
the
from
original
Scary Monsters.
Scary Monsters and Night Stripes.
It's the Cup Girl.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it is
god!
Cowboy. And again,
Wow.
that idea of just being of like saying like, hey, I'm still Skrillex, but like we're going in a totally new direction here. So like I just think that's really interesting. Again, this is like totally not my favorite song on the record whatsoever. I just think it's a good illustration of like
The
all right,
evolution.
this is the next step. Let's go.
Sonny's
And,
evolution.
So
yeah.
also back around at the end of the record, he goes into this whole. He does one of the songs that I'll have on here at some point, but he goes into this whole breakdown, which is I think it's Hazel theme. And then
Still with my not with my friends.
Still Here with the Ones
Still
That I
Here
Came
the Ones
With?
That I Came
Oh, that's
and it's
dude.
essentially this melodic. It's this melodic breakdown that is the same as the first song on his album, but in this beautiful way that sums up exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
It's just this like incredible sense of understanding and comprehension of where he is, and deep appreciation for
The journey.
like everything, seeing Skrillex play, like that dude knows how dope his life is. Like he's living his best, wildest dreams, and he knows it in a way that is very human.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
I'm into it.
That Still Here with the Ones I Came With that's my favorite song on the album because that's the breaks one that I was talking about. Yeah. Miguel, what's your take on all this, man? You like this stuff? Is it whatever?
So, I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but it's for me, it's very much like you said, whatever. Like, it's there. Am I gonna look it out? Probably not. To be honest with you.
It's just beeps and boops, man.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Beeps and boops, dude. It's just beeps and boops.
But no, yeah, that song really is good. Though.
Drink chat in the chat real fast.
We got
we're drinking Modelo's over here, and then Razor 5 over there.
I got the White Rascal, and then I've already finished the 1554.
Ooh,
New
nice
Belgium.
one.
Yeah.
Palisader.
Nice.
Hot Valley.
Oh, Hot Valley's good.
All those Hot Valley ones are really good. I like the Stash Panda a lot, but I don't know if it's because I like the beer or if I just like that it's a
The name?
like raccoon reference.
Yeah.
I also is
That's
it
the
a
right
raccoon
track
reference? Or
band.
is it a
Trash
panda?
bandas are the best,
Yeah, I
man.
think it is. Yeah, they're really good. And raccoons.
I love beer. Let's get the next
I
one.
love beer. I've always loved beer.
Bear, love me some bear. The next track is one I selected by DJ Planet Express and Gab Ferreira called Here. This track shows another one of those like EDM movements that's happening around, electronic music movements that's happening right now, which is house but fast. So you might be asking yourself, Jacob, that wasn't house music. Well, guess what? I mixed up my tracks. That was supposed to be the other one. So this is also fast, but I'm calling it breaks, even though it's almost like drum and bass. There's this sort of like in between thing that's kind of happening in the like drum and bass world, where it's like, would you call this drum and bass? Would this be breaks music? If I slowed it down, it would be breaks music. If I sped it up a little more, it would be drum and bass. But it's sort of somewhere in between. And there's a lot of tracks like this, and I don't know, I just like it. I think the vocal work is great. I think it's a clean track. I think it's a track that like probably a lot of people don't know. But mostly I picked this track because I've been enjoying DJ Planet Express a lot lately, who's been feeding into this trend that's happening where there's a lot of like almost 90s sounding artists out there. People are making songs that could have come out of like 1999. Yeah, it's definitely a resurgence of that like early 2000s or early aughts, as I always.
What's old is new, right?
Right. It's the younger people are like, oh, let's do this fresh sounding shit, but really it's like,
it's not fresh.
No, it could have been on the Matrix soundtrack.
I don't think it's like they're trying to do fresh sound shit. I think they're like, holy shit, that old shit. They knew what was going on.
Right. I mean,
It's all
I mean, in the
cyclical.
best,
It'll
in the
come
best
back
of
eventually.
worlds.
But you know, Gen Zers, man, like they think they invented everything, just like we did.
Yeah,
You know what I mean,
fuck
millennials.
them, dude.
And not to hate,
I'm
but
probably a Gen Z. No, I'm millennial on the very end cusp. I'm like 1 year away from.
nice. But yeah, no,
Thank God.
I just really dig that track. It kind of like sums up what I like in music right now, which is like, if you're gonna have vocals, make it good. You know, sing it right. If you're gonna put a melody in there, it's gotta hit me in the feels. And then just a lot of dope percussion, and just to kind of showcase that like right now, the underground is fast. The underground's tempo is higher than it was. You know what I mean? And that's big. Trev, you're totally a Gen Z by vibes.
1997. By vibes, fair enough.
Wait, what year?
97? I'm 97. Yeah.
You should argue with people.
Hey, all I gotta say is Badooism and Homework are my birth year albums. So
Ooh, good shit.
I know, yeah, it's good shit.
Interesting. I'm older than you for sure. So yeah, any commentary on this track, guys?
I dig it. I'm super into this type of like kind of melodic drum and bass or breaks kind of vibes, and like it's again, I like the fact that it can be simultaneously like kind of hype and kind of dancey, but also like really calming and soothing. Like I'll listen to this type of music in the morning a lot. Yeah, it's a vibe.
Yeah, I'll dance to this shit all day, all night. You know, I love that. I love that shit. Makes me bop. Miguel, let's go to another one of yours, which would be
All right.
Fate by CASTLEBEAT.
CASTLEBEAT's fun, dude. I just like CASTLEBEAT.
It's a cool sounding group.
I found CASTLEBEAT through listening to Black Marble. I don't know if you know who Black Marble is, but you know how Spotify is. But
Yeah.
CASTLEBEAT's not
Yeah,
bad.
they'll feed you the next thing pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty much.
They try to dictate your whole vibe, and you know what? They
And
do
not my favorite track from
pretty good job.
CASTLEBEAT. It's just a track that came out this year.
There you go.
There you
Which
go.
that was the prerequisite, was that it had to come out in 2023.
It had to be 2023.
All right, so let's hit it. Fate by CASTLEBEAT.
I just saw an Instagram reel of 300 BPM country music.
Whoa.
And it was pretty cool. So it was pretty cool, to be honest. Of course, the guy who was making it, I did not like, but the rest of it was cool.
All right, interesting.
Nice, dude.
I love how that was kind of like shoegazy, but like with
Yeah.
808s or like some sort of drum machine. That
It
was
was like
pretty
if
cool.
you took like a Sonic Youth and put him with a drum machine.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like some,
exactly.
and some format filters on their synths.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It very much it makes me want to like go to like look at brutalism architecture.
100%.
That song makes me want to like smoke cigarettes and then drink like a beer outside of a 7-Eleven at nighttime.
See, my guy, that's what I want to do all the time.
That is
And I want to
fucking
do
random
more.
shit.
That's an issue.
Like I should just be like, look at the moon, dude.
Sick, dude. Fuck.
Anyways, do you think they got 40s in there? Looks pretty close to me.
Dude, they got 40s, but do they have orange juice? You know what I mean?
Mad Dog.
That's right.
Best of both worlds.
Cool. So, Miguel, what's your take on that track? Or the band in general?
In general, I like CASTLEBEAT quite a bit.
Mhm.
I thought it was it's one guy, if I'm not mistaken, from California.
Cool.
He's at first I didn't really like him, but the more I started listening to him, he's pretty cool. Like I like the stuff he does. That's kind of the stuff like if you listen to it, it sounds kind of like shit I would normally listen to, but more electronic.
Right.
So there's a connection there, but
Yeah.
so I mean those guys are cool. Like Beach Fossils, that's like back 10-20, 2010 or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beach Fossils. bunch of those bands. It kind of reminds me of that.
Nice. Yeah, I love the Beach Fossils.
Totally.
Sweet.
I keep forgetting that this is all 2023 music.
Yeah, I
I keep
know.
hearing this shit and being like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're not like going into the well of like our absolute classics. It's like, hey, guess what? All this music came out this year, and that just goes to
Which is-
show.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry, Trev.
100%.
There's like a delay on my end.
No, you're good.
If you guys haven't noticed
Totally,
yet.
no, I can see it. I mean, you just took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just interesting.
It's cool that we have. I mean, of course there is, but at the same time, like, it's cool to tap into the diversity of just this year, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's more diverse than I think people might think. Let's get into the next track, which is Back on 74 by Jungle, which Jungle is incredible. You should just listen to Jungle. Just go to Jungle on Spotify or YouTube and just listen to any of it, and you'll enjoy it. Trust me, Jungle is cool as fuck. Go ahead and introduce your song.
This is the first I've heard Jungle here and there on stations on the radio. This is the first Jungle song that I heard, and I was like, I got into it recently, past like 2 weeks, and I haven't fully figured out what it is yet. It's nostalgic. It's warm. It's fuzzy. The music video is enchanting. The song is enchanting. It's all a one take dance video with some of the best dancers in the world, and it I don't know, it just resonates really hard. It's really cool.
Awesome. So let's hit it. Back on 74 by Jungle. Oh, it's muted. I keep forgetting that part.
Great job.
Yeah, thanks. I wish I could be using Spotify because it'd be easier. You know. All right, let's do this. Jungle just has some great videos across the board. If you like that video, you'll like all their videos.
Yeah.
They're all like that. So cool.
Yeah, they promote good dancers for sure.
My take on Jungle is like they're a fusion of concepts. For one, almost like a choir. For another thing, it's like there's like a grooviness to them. You know what I mean? I don't really just don't know how to put it. It's just a bunch of rad people singing in a room with cool ass beats like over it. It's like Portishead, or it's like Sneaker Pimps,
definitely.
but with like 10, 15 singers instead of just one. You know what I mean?
So it's two dudes, right?
Yeah.
Two English guys. It's just it feels like nostalgia all boiled
Embodied.
down and
Yeah.
embodied into one thing without any of the things that makes nostalgia boring and makes it shit that you replay over and over and over. It feels like they've encapsulated this nostalgia in the essence of what it is. It feels like new music. It feels invigorating, but at the same time, like, it's disco, it's
Totally,
funk,
yeah.
it's soul, it has hip hop, it has like house, it has like all this shit in it that is really like, you can tell that the guys who are making it like love
Yeah.
music, like deeply love it and
Yeah.
deeply understand it, and it feels like this is them making it the music that they want to hear in the world and not really giving a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
And then also pulling in everyone else who doesn't give a shit about making things for other people and just wants to make things that they enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I get.
Totally.
Hell
It's also for me. It feels very California too. Like there's this level of like, you know, like a bit of carefreeness, but also this sort of heavy sentimentality, sort of. You know, that sort of the yearning for the classic, but also being like the cutting edge at the same time. You know what I mean? And their last album before this most recent set of tracks that they've been doing was a big one when me and Aishu moved to California, and we were like kind of getting our feet. I mean, obviously I'm from here, but moving back to California, yeah, it's just a good soundtrack of like sunsets and like groups of new friends type of shit, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Miguel? You like that?
Again, not bad, but just something I probably wouldn't look out for. Just with my personal tastes. That's just me.
I would say they have a like, even though that was like very, yeah, kind of new disco, kind of feel good. Like they have some stuff that's like actually gets into some more, I don't know, introspective, I guess, or something like that. You know, so.
Alternative.
I'll have to look it up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jungle songs out there, and I recommend trying to listen to a few of them. But that's, hey, I like them all. Jungle's great. Let's get into the next song, which I believe is Gage's, called "Run a Red Light" by Everything But the Girl.
Cool.
Right?
So
Nice.
this album came out of nowhere this year. Everything About the Girl is like a late '90s, early 2000s electronica group.
Yeah. That's some old shit, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's some old shit, dude. Yeah, but I grew up listening to them. My mom and her sister would play them as they were like partying in the house when I was like a 4-year-old.
Oh wow.
And so it's like some of the first music I ever remember like dancing to, and I just remember like they used to love to just like turn off the lights, and they were probably smoking a bunch of weed, and I didn't know, and they were just like dancing to Everything But the
Mom,
Girl.
why do you smell like a skunk?
In their bedroom, and I would just be like, yeah, that sounds like a good time. And they took a hiatus from music forever, and I guess they came back this year. I don't really know the story, but this album this song specifically is about the idea of like wanting to be able to go, like, have a fuck it mentality, like you used to be able to. And me being a new father, like this is like something I'm resonating with a little bit, where there's that balance of like, you know, some nights are just going to be for you, and it's kind of like selfish and don't worry about tomorrow morning type of thing, and just like that kind of idea. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's get into it, man. Everything But the Girl.
By the way, this isn't really a dance song. This is kind of a ballad on the record, but I think it has
Defend that ballad.
yeah, I'll defend the ballad. It's good. It's the good one. For sure.
Not every song has
There's
to
some
be a
bangers
dance
on
song.
there's some bangers on this album too. Just saying.
All right, here we go. We're gonna listen to this song right now, dude. This is the song Gage like puts on when he pours himself a glass of wine. The baby's to bed. He looks in the mirror and he turns the song on and just looks at himself and he's like, "This is for tonight."
That's hot.
Nice. I like the dance number. That's cool. Look up the video if you're watching this later.
Bubble bath.
Yeah,
This
this
is-
is definitely a bubble bath.
This is definitely some bubble bath music. Right
You
here.
already got one. It's baby making music.
Ooh,
big time.
Oh, there you go.
there you go.
That'd be one.
Or
area.
baby having music
yeah,
and
no more-
appreciate
no
and
more baby.
appreciating. Yeah.
I like the. I think
snap.
I think I think I hear a second voice in there. I really like that voice. I don't know who that is, but I'm digging that second voice a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a lady.
Yeah. I also, once again, there's some shit going on with the music in
Yeah.
my headphones, so I want to give these all this shit.
Yeah, go listen to the whole album.
deep
Honestly,
listen.
like
Yeah.
the intro track
Yeah.
is a total banger, and it like brings back that '90s like electro bass thing going on. It's good. But yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Yeah, I've funny enough never heard of this group at all, and you said they're from like the 2000s, late 90s. So I'll have to check them out. Okay, after that nice quick edit, we're back with more fun. I have a song for you. It's by Disclosure. Disclosure came out with a new album this year called Alchemy. It is fucking amazing. It's
Good one.
incredible.
It's good.
I can't sing the praises
song?
of
Which
this
song?
Disclosure album enough. The one that gets stuck in my head more is probably the first track on the album. However, this song solidifies what I love about Disclosure the most and how far they've come over the years. Even like like we're talking about Skrillex, he's evolved. Disclosure has evolved as well. Their first album was so good. Then Car Call came out. That was also good. But, didn't have as much oomph or like anything like it wasn't as much of an evolution as I might have hoped, although they'd still just produce great tracks. Then this album, Alchemy, came out this year and it just blew me away. I feel like they're feeding into the trends while also doing, their thing, as people say. The song's called A Little Bit. It's so fucking good. It essentially makes the organ like the coolest fucking instrument in the world. I think, like, as a producer, you might forget about a sine wave being cool. This album says, hey, dude, sine waves are cool. And we're about to listen to why. So this is a little bit by Disclosure. And then I bet you that Miguel's face will be slightly cut off here, and I'll fix it. But you don't even know that on the YouTube version, because you're just gonna
dude, don't worry about it.
you're just gonna hit pause, and then you're just gonna listen to it and come back, and you won't even see this. So here we go. This is a little bit by Disclosure. Let's vibe out. Like, oh, here, hold on.
It really reminds me of like the first shit that got me into house music ever. Like, and I can't even tell you. I mean, I can tell you albums. It was like Bicep and Todd Terje, but those don't represent this. This was like the first songs that I ever heard that made me like start to key into what is house as a broad genre, and that it touches something super deep in me.
Yeah, totally.
Just producing on the fly. Don't worry about it. No, I agree with that. And that's kind of the thing, is that like house music, like at its core, is Chicago house, right? That's where house music comes
That's where
from.
it came from.
It's literally just a dude on a piano and a guy on the drums and then someone on the Vox, right? That's what house music is. And if you take a piano and you put it in a church, it's a fucking organ, bro. And there's there's a lot of deep house that uses an organ instead, or like an electric piano with house and deep house and whatnot. This is just taking that same like simple house concept, speeding it up to like what's big in the movement right now, which is, again, it's all about speed, quick, fast, but still putting that like groovy Disclosure stamp on it. It's just mixed so well. There's like so many vocal tricks happening in there. There's a lot of little stabs and effects just peppering this track. And it's also almost like a progressive house track with its composition. It's like all over the place with, with the patterns. And I don't know, when I heard this song, I was floored originally. Yeah, it's the progression for sure. Yeah, the progression just blows me away, and the clean sound design throughout. And again, it's like everyone forgets that, like, oh, a sound wave or a sine wave, everyone thinks is, you just hear that as a subwoofer signal. But like, oh yeah, sine waves, that's like an organ sound, and I don't know, it's just something about that just really spoke to me. Although the first song on the Disclosure album does get stuck in my head more than this. I just feel like if we're looking at this song as like to study music, I think this track right here is just incredible production, personally.
I think it is also for me. I listened to the album all the way through once and haven't done it again yet, but Sun Showers was really beautiful. It was like full on like psychedelic mushroom trip in the redwood forest, like what it feels like when you're going through the dark but loving and intimate woods, and then you come out into the sun. Super psychedelic track. And then I think it's either the one directly before or after is just another really cool breakbeat driven
track. Yeah,
Good,
absolutely.
good ass album.
Yeah, dude, Alchemy, the entire album front to back, just put it on, listen to it, groove to it. It's so good. But the song that will get stuck in your head is Looking for Love. Like I was going to sleep with that song in my head, dreaming that song, and waking up with that song in my head still. Like that's how much that song infected my brain. So yeah, that's my take. I just love that song.
Oh yeah,
that whole album is just so fucking good.
Nice pick.
Thanks. Miguel, we're coming to your final track. Thanks. We're coming to your final track, which, I do want to shout out, like, Miguel, obviously, you're coming out with the outlier music that's different. It's not all electronic and stuff. I appreciate that. I just hope that you understand how much I appreciate you for being like, not just being another parrot in the bird cage. You know what I mean? And I really,
my next track is not electronic at all, so don't worry.
No, not to hate. It's not even like that. I'm just saying that, like, I value Miguel's input in this show because he's like always coming from a different place, and I just I love to see that, like, just a counterpoint or like another point of view. And I just, I think you have great taste in music. Like, you've introduced me to
I
some really
appreciate
cool
that.
bands, man. And I always value that. So I just want you to know that. So the next
Well,
track.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The next track that you've put before us is Piedra del Águila. Did I say that
Piedra
right?
del Águila.
Is that the
From a band,
the foot of
it's
the foot of the eagle?
no, I guess the Rock of the Eagle, if you were to
Okay, all right.
translate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's from a indie band from Argentina.
Cool.
So
Las
I
Ligas
recommended, what was it,
Menores.
Fin del Mundo last year,
Oh, yeah.
and then obviously Spotify doing what Spotify does. I found this band. So
Nice.
Las Ligas Menores,
There
which
you go.
is the minor leagues in translated.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, well, let's get into it. Here it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really cool to see kind of like stereotypically US version or US kind of spawned genres interpreted by different languages in different countries. Like, I've been getting really into this like Korean shoegaze band lately, and like I've been kind of because of No Dogs in Space, I've been listening to krautrock lately,
Nice.
and like the whole German scene that was happening like post World War II, Beatles era, like hanging out in Germany, and like their interpretation of what Western music was at the time, and like so similar to this, like this feels like Slow Dive or like Tennis or like some of those, or like Bedroom, like some of those kind of those types of bands, but like put through a South American lens, which is it's just cool to see for sure.
No, absolutely. I would agree with exactly with what you said. I like it. I think their indie scene right now in Argentina is pretty cool. There's a lot of really
Nice.
good bands right now, so it's definitely something to look out.
Hell yeah, I love that.
I thought it was cool, man. I don't know any of those bands you said. You should tell me about them separately later.
Playlist.
Fuck yeah, man. Cool, yeah, no, I mean, that's just some clean indie right there. If you haven't seen the video, you should watch that video. I thought it was super rad. I know the live people watched us, but I'm talking about the YouTube people. Come on. Check it out. I thought it was kind of trippy and cool. I just appreciate a good music video, right? What do you guys think?
I get that, man. No, absolutely.
I think
can
every
see that.
song, I think every single song
And
in
it's like
existence
it's
should
like
have
with
one.
it's like with movies, like sometimes you got to give foreign language music, like even if you don't speak Spanish, a chance, because like a lot of times, like with movies, like people can't get over the subtitles, but a lot of times you can get a lot out of a song even if you can't fully understand what they're saying. Sometimes you can
for
even
sure.
get past, you sneak in loving a song even though it might actually be cheesy in the native language that it's in, and so you just like it purely on the instrumentation and the vibes, which is cool.
There's also a lot
Oh,
to be said for
No,
Go,
ahead.
Trev.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Do it.
there's just a lot to be said for the human voice being an instrument. If you don't know and can't understand the language, it's an interesting way to look at music, to take away meaning from intentional lyrics.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think I joked about it when we were doing our little pre-podcast, but I can understand like 1 and probably 25 or 40 words of Spanish, and
Yeah.
it's also like Mexican Spanish, so I definitely didn't get much of that, but
Mhm.
it's still like it feels like home in a lot of ways, even not understanding the language, despite despite being the whitest person that you've ever seen in your life, as evidenced by the light. Most of my family is married in Nicaraguan and Mexican,
Okay.
and that's like some really lovely, deep, grown up with roots in a certain way. So that's what, when I was saying I feel safe, I think it was just like music that I've listened to through most of my like early young and adulthood, being an individual. A lot of my friends were listening to that music. A lot of my friends were playing really nice indie rock, and yeah, just to hear it in Spanish, even though I couldn't understand any of it, was just It was nice. It was really nice. It felt really good.
Hell yeah.
I would definitely agree with that 100%. It doesn't matter what they're saying as long as the vocals sound good. It's definitely an instrument. And if you do it well, you do it well. And if you don't do it well, I mean, it's all subjective at the end of the day, of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, so
Totally.
I agree with 100% with what you said.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say
lovely
baby
song.
metal. You know,
You're going to say what?
Baby metal.
baby metal.
Baby.
You know, if you know, you know.
When I saw Baby Metal live, it was fucking amazing.
That's incredible. No, I was just gonna say that for a long time in my life, I didn't really listen to lyrics. I just listened to the music, you know. So totally with you guys there. And then one day I started listening to lyrics, and I was like, "Whoa, music is poetry too. That's crazy." So now we're going to get to Chef Trev's final track. That's right. It's by Skrillex, Noisia, Josh Pan, and Dylan Brady. Supersonic.
Yep.
I'm gonna pee real fast. Also.
My Existence. Official audio. Let's just get into the song, and then by the time he comes back, we can all talk about it. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Double headphone this one.
Yeah, double it up, dude. All right, here we go.
Oh,
Whew,
what
shit.
a track!
I feel like
What a
I was.
track.
I feel like
Is that
I.
not the perfect like?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how perfect it was.
That's just Skrillex, just like fucking like ripping us all up and showing us.
Dude, it's like here. This is the
Man.
dubstep I want to make. His whole album. This is like
It's-
just like you were saying, Gage, about
So
Don't Leave Me
dynamic.
Like This. How that was the introduction to it. That was his thesis. That
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
how I feel. This is what I want to do. This is like that final paragraph. that,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
here,
totally.
it's all building up to me as this dubstep prince of whatever the
As Rolling Stone put it, the Prince of Dubstep.
yeah, as this like this new wave of pop American dubstep, but with everything that he's learned.
yeah,
It's good. It's nuanced. It's restrained. It is. It's auditorily incredible. When he mixes it in his basement set, he uses a little quick breakbeat from Too Bizarre, and he essentially turns it into this like dubstep drum and bass hybrid song.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking awesome. It's an awesome track.
Also, you got to shout out to Noisia, whose bass sound is coming through really hard in this song.
Yes.
That I don't even know how to describe it, but
It's the
if you
synths,
listen
man.
yeah, if you listen to Split the Atom, there's like this kind of quintessential Noisia sound that he takes, and then like I think they might have just contributed literally that plugin and been like, here, use this plugin, and he's like, and then he just like took his own style and put it on it, which is
That song sounds like they took 50 synthesizers and coded them into like milliseconds of that song, and then put LFOs on all of them,
Yeah.
and then just cut all the audio like piece by piece. Like that song is 2 minutes and 44 seconds, but probably took 800 hours to make. You know what I mean? Because of how the complexity
Yeah.
and the and the
Absolutely.
degree of I'm sure that the fucking gain staging on that song took like a millennia to put together. That's what I mean. Like that song is like, again, just like a production wet dream. Like in general, like it's just mixed and produced so fucking well on so many levels that it's just unbelievable. Like it's just such an accomplishment, and it should be celebrated.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
I think too, like it just shows Skrillex is obviously Skrillex,
Yeah.
and is a master of his own production, and also he's been taking time off, spending time with Fortet, Fred again too, but like especially
Chill.
Fortet,
Yeah.
and I think that
Yeah.
comes through really hard, not only in Butterflies, which is him and Fortet's song, which is
Right.
to be honest, like might be my favorite song on the album, just because.
Well, you're a Fortet.
It really does.
You're also a
it's so
Fortet fan.
But I'm a big Fortet fan.
Yeah.
But it also, Fortet, his whole thing is production. Like
Yeah.
he's a genius. He's a musical genius, and it really comes through in shit like this. That Skrillex, who also I think is a musical genius, is spending time with someone who's had a lot more experience even doing that.
It's like teaching him.
It's a lot of layers.
It's teaching him to give give room for space and
restraint
and ambience and audio design, which is I think Fortet is maybe the fucking
grandmaster.
Yeah, exactly. And so like it's Skrillex's old maximalism mixed with like kind of a finesse that Fortet has, you know?
Yeah.
It's maximalized minimalism.
Totally.
That was
and
for
you,
you, Miguel.
Like a ton in
that was for you.
Maximize minimalism.
Get out of here. That makes no sense.
All right, let's get to the next track. This one is Gage's last one, Geese, Cowboy Nudes.
Cowboy Nudes.
Let's let it... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's let it play, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. This is my favorite record of the year, for sure.
Let's go. This is a good song, man.
That's a move.
Hold on, wait.
That was a really good song.
Yeah, so this record is wild. The first track comes out in like a total like ball to the wall, punch in the face, and then this is or I guess there's one track in between that's the title track, and then this song comes, and it's just there's a level of like revivalism. They wear all of their influences on their sleeve, but it's in a way that I feel like isn't cheesy or like redundant or like just like doing or like, you know, like Greta Van Fleet is just straight up trying to be Led Zeppelin again, and they're not doing that. Although I hear the Stones in here, I hear the Strokes in here, I hear like there's a lot of their influences that are very much like you can feel them, but throughout the record. But it's really it's tasteful, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, to me it sounds like Rolling Stones for sure, and I love it.
Totally.
You know, it's like it's that harkening back to old school rock and roll, mixed with kind of like a new school of alternative. I really dig it. I think it's cool, and the video had some nudity in it, and I didn't know that, so that's fun.
It was censored, to be honest.
True though.
Like, to be fair,
that is true.
It was definitely censored.
Cool ass song though. I'm gonna have to listen to that album, man.
But on Vimeo, you could probably see the balls.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, show me them nuts.
I strongly recommend giving it a good headphone listen.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say I strongly recommend finding the uncensored version of it.
finding the Vimeo edition.
That's fucking amazing. Any last thoughts on this track? I just think it's just a great rock song.
No, I was digging it, dude.
It's cool. I listened to that.
Yep.
It's a great pick, lovely. Man.
It seems like something that could easily fall into like what is it, like on an audiovisual album?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us to our last track. It was between two. An honorable mention to Over by Churches. It's such a good song. But I feel like this song kind of contributes to what I was maybe going to pick that song for. And that is, y'all know I love synthesizers. I love synthwave and that kind of stuff. But this band right here has been carrying forward the synth torch, but in the most funky way. And like you were saying with an earlier band, does it all live, puts on a great show, and is one of the greatest musical groups in all existence. And this song is featuring Roux, who we haven't really heard from in a very long time. If you remember Bulletproof from like the early aughts with that shit. So this is a song by Chromeo featuring Roux called Replacements. Let's fucking listen to it, and it's just so good. But I just love synthesizers, and they're just doing all the right things in this track. So let's fucking listen to it. Here we go. So yeah. I mean, I just love Chromeo so much. They call themselves the Funk Lords, because they are. But they still have this tie to the synthesizers that I always love. And again, they just put on such a great live show. They do everything live. All the percussion, synthesizers, the vocals, and then, you know, the guy with the vocoder, he's always got it in his mouth, and that guy's pretty badass. Although I don't think he's in this track. But the fact that they brought Roux,
he's pretty swag, yeah.
He's swagged out, man. The fact that they brought Roux back for this one track just blew me away, and I just need to spread the awesomeness to everyone else.
Man, I miss her as a vocalist. She was like, I remember like 2007 to 2011, she was like featured in every like like good electro tune for the longest time there. Yeah, and I honestly I miss that record she came out with. Was it Quicksand? And the back then was so good.
Yeah, so damn good. Chromeo just keeps killing it with every album. And like I said, you know, churches.
They're a great live act too, by the way. He was saying they're just at Portola. I saw them at Hard LA in 2010 or 2011, I forget. But yeah, they were so good.
What did you think of that track there, Miguel? Replacements.
That's hot.
Well, guys,
that sums it up.
it's all hot.
Oh, absolutely.
Good times, man. So we've shown you some tracks. We talked about some tracks. We talked about music. Any closing thoughts on any of this stuff before we get to the final part of this podcast marathon?
It's just once again, I'll just say it's cool to see the diversity of music in 2023, and there's even so much more. I have a whole list of other new artists or new tracks that came out from artists this year that do the gamut of different genres. So it's cool. We'll put a playlist together, and y'all can check it out later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like Uni Pinku. I didn't play any of her tracks tonight, but she's incredible. You should know about Uni Pinku. There's just so many great artists. You know, like Sam Gillitree. He's been around forever. He's been coming out with some amazing shit. There's just so many.
Pink Panthers.
Pink Pantheress is slaying every fucking day. It can go on and on and on. Music isn't dead, man.
Shout out to the Boy Genius record that came out this year. That's really good. Sad girl music. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. Couple other honorable mentions. Let's see. Alok has been coming out with some cool stuff. There's a lot of retro house music coming out. Like old school Euro dance is like back in a huge way. Duet is a good group. If you've never heard of Duet, you should be listening to Duet. Odessa continues to come out with great music. Alice in Wonderland had a cool track this past week. Nightmare's still killing it. Who else? Hayden James is putting out really good tracks.
Hayden James.
Cameo Blush, also another good breaks artist out there. Who else? Blossom.
Nia Archives put out a really good EP this year.
Roosevelt still pumping out cool ass indie dance tracks. You know what I mean? I can go on and on. The music is just flowing. You should go out there and seek it out, and listen to older stuff too. But I'm just saying,
there's all sorts of music at the end of the day.
You know. But hey, it's spooky month, so you should be listening to Thriller at least once a week. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta also give shout out to SZA's SOS because that barely made the cut of being 2022. But I mean, shit, if that doesn't win album of the year, I'm gonna be really upset because holy fuck, is it a good record?
Nice.
SZA's so good, dude. Also,
always.
Kaylani.
Yeah.
It's another female that I like out there making music.
Also, new Doja Cat. To be honest, haven't delved into it.
Doja's making
super
some cool
deep
stuff.
yet.
She's kind of
I
annoying.
like what I've heard.
She's kind of annoying as like a human being, but she puts out good music. That's where I stand with her. You know.
It's just honest.
Fair enough.
The honest
Fair
truth.
enough.
It's just honest. Guys.
Caroline Polchak has a great record this year too. Sorry. Anyways.
Also passes last
Oh
year.
yeah.
That was last.
Wait, repeat that because you cut out a little bit there. Sorry. What'd you say?
Sorry, Flume put out Palaces last year. Then he's been dropping all of
a bunch of remixes
and like seems like old tracks that he didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
So he found this laptop that had died, and he got it running again, and he released 2 albums of tracks from like 2016 all the way to 2022 that had been backlog tracks.
Whoa.
And a lot of them are really cool. A lot of them are weird. A lot of you can tell when they're from. Some of them are more housey. Some of them are fucking more 2016 EDM-y. They're great. Yeah.
Two last things.
Nice.
Scream. Look up Scream as an artist. Scream is fucking dope. And then let's not forget, we were talking about Skrillex earlier. Skrillex and Boys Noise Fine Day Anthem.
Oh,
Fire.
dude.
Fire.
I mean,
fire.
almost like I pretty much ignored that in terms of bringing it up.
I know. I tried. Not,
That's
I know.
Finding Anthem and Baby Again.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
like they kind of have to be my tracks of the year, and I think that's why I didn't talk about them. But I think
I
I
know.
should talk about them right now because both of those are like in like genre rave defining tracks.
Fucking
They're
awesome.
great. They're really fun to play. They're perfect DJ tracks.
Also, Miracle, Calvin Harris Miracle is like my jam as well. It's another
Calvin Harris
2023
Miracle.
fucking amazing track. Let's get to our endorsements,
Cool.
people, so we can stop this. We need to stop this. It has to end. It has
You're
to
right.
end. I love you
Wait,
though.
yes, it
Never.
does.
I had such a great night. It's so
It's
fun.
Rick and Morty.
1,000 years. All right, yeah. So what's everyone's endorsement this week? I'm gonna go with Fat Tire.
I'm actually gonna endorse
Fat Tire.
Bow and Arrow Brewing Company out of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Nice.
Pretty good stuff. It's a native-owned brewery.
Mhm.
It's
Cool.
two ladies. Some good shit. They make good beer.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I did not prep you on this at all. At the end of the episode,
I picked up.
Okay. It was like, so yes, I didn't prep you on this before, but we endorse something that we've been utilizing regularly or that we like or just
Cool.
want to shout out on the podcast since we don't have ad sponsors yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing Fat Tire because I got their sampler that has the 1884 or 1554 that I was drinking. Their triple, this Fat Tire, and I think a IPA. It's very good. Jump on that shit. Also pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Wow.
Basic
Okay.
bitch. It's okay. I'm a basic bitch too. It's good shit.
Hell yeah. What about you two in the middle? What do you got?
I'm going to endorse having a mini fridge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is nice.
It's a total luxury, but I recently put the mini fridge that used to be in our garage up here right next to me during the podcast, so I can literally reach over and grab beers at any point.
Or the lime squeeze.
Or the lime
Keep it
squeeze.
cold.
Yeah, I had a
Oh,
little
wow.
little squeeze of lime. Just
There you
in
go.
case.
That's high class.
Yeah, it was clutch. It made this Modelo all the better as I was drinking it throughout the podcast. So yeah, get a mini fridge if you have an extra $100 to throw or something.
Even if you're not mini.
Exactly.
You can still get a fridge.
True that.
True.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my shout out is obviously gonna be a full size fridge. You can't see it, it's just out of frame, but I actually brought one today. Gage didn't want it to conflict with his mini fridge, so he turned the
I
camera
turned
this
it-
way.
I- the
Because
camera.
Gage's
See.
is little and yours is the full size, and we all
Nice.
get that.
Yeah, it's just a fridge.
Absolutely.
Okay, in all seriousness, I'll, I'll go with the pumpkin spice thing. I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy, and I'm not a big Starbucks guy. I quite enjoy nice. I'm not bougie about coffee, but I enjoy some good espresso and whatnot. And you also, in Arcata, we don't have chains, so you have to go either north or south to get Starbucks. But they have a cold brew with pumpkin spice cold foam, and it is delightful. It tastes like the foam tastes like pumpkin pie, and the cold brew is the best coffee thing you can get at Starbucks because
Nice.
it's not burnt and gnarly.
Yeah, not
So,
burnt. Yeah.
Cold foam, cold brew, pumpkin spice, delicious. Worth the 15-minute trip to McKinleyville.
Also,
For those of us locals.
There's a
Drunken
but I
monkey.
guess that's about 20 minutes too.
there's
so
a
yeah.
there's a
Eureka.
pumpkin
Yeah.
there's a pumpkin spice Oreo too, you know. So
Yes, there is.
I've seen
Try it
it.
out.
I've seen it.
dip it in some milk, dog. Put it in
There's
that
pumpkin
coffee.
Spice
Put in
everything.
some pumpkin spice cold foam,
There you go.
Yep.
bro.
Oh my god.
Double duty.
Give it to me, baby.
Shout out to Major Anarchy for somehow weathering the storm of us disconnecting.
I know, thanks.
You can have
man.
that pumpkin pie. I won't fight you for it.
Yeah.
Great job. All
I-
yours.
Thanks
Good job.
everyone for watching, listening. I want to thank Chef Trev for being here. Where can people find you on the
Yeah.
internet so they can listen to your mixes or tweet at you or X at you or whatever the fuck?
You mean-
Yeah, I would go Instagram. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a Facebook. Instagram, ChefTrev. That'll get you to me. And yeah, Jacob, Miguel, it's been a pleasure meeting you guys. Thanks for having me on.
meeting you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Pleasure
You're
meeting
welcome
you, too.
anytime.
Yeah, we
Super
had,
fun talking about music and hearing a bunch of cool tracks, talking about some that I love, talking about some that I don't know. And yeah, let's make a playlist.
yeah, we're gonna absolutely do that, and we'll have that in the
Cool.
description below. Spotify, YouTube will be on both. Okay. And
Fucking A.
to all the people out there, thanks for watching. We love you. We'll see you next week. Get ready for spooky content. It is spooky month here. We have our horror movie episode next week. We'll talk about horror movies and get weird. And then we're going to have the week off next week, but some people, I don't know, some people we know we scheduled to be here. We can't be here, but they'll be here. So just get ready for something special because we're all going to Halloween party. So we don't know what's going to happen on this podcast. But you should be here in 2 weeks. Guaranteed. Trust me. You're going to want to be here.
Some people,
Yeah.
some things are gonna guest in for us.
Some characters will be here. Trust me, you're going to want to be here for that. But hey, I'm going to bid y'all adieu. Say goodbye, everyone, and get out there, listen to some music.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.